Let's talk about the meta storytelling of Chainsaw Man along with Chainsaw Man Chapter 133. With very little action, it was still one of the better chapters that we've seen in part 2. But Denji watching as the crowd fights over him and saying that it feels kind of nice having people fight over him is pretty sad. I think Yoshida acknowledges this as well. He's so desperate for love and attention, and we saw this in part 1 when he saw so many people rallying and crying for how much they love Chainsaw Man, especially the women. He loved that. We get another conversation that feels a bit meta, almost like it's one of Fujimoto's editors or handlers talking to him about ownership of Chainsaw Man and Chainsaw Man as a property and not just as the superhero character in the story. Another moment that feels meta in Chainsaw Man is back in part 1, where Makima remarks that Chainsaw Man is a product now. He's something to be consumed and not feared anymore. Like he's lost his edge. So it seems like Fujimoto is melding in his experiences as a growing mangaka and Denji's experiences in the story. I mentioned this in a previous video, but identity seems to be a big part of part 2. We have characters who want to be like Chainsaw Man, we have someone who's imitating Chainsaw Man here with Yuko, and we have super fans like Isayumi. And honestly, I could see Fujimoto being a difficult person to work with. But also, I can't help but be reminded of Fujimoto's one-shot Just Listen to the Song, which is a story about creation and how it's received by the public and what the true meaning of a work is. You should really check it out, but at the end of the story, we see how it's really about connection, about love. Outside of the controversy caused by the song written by our protagonist, was the one thing that he wanted the most. So seeing Denji and Nayuta reunite amongst all this conflict and them being the center, what really mattered, reminded me of that story. This was so cute. Oh, my Denji. The thing is, it's funny to see Yoshida get so flustered over Denji again when he knows that Denji is unconventional. He does not answer things in the way that he expects him to. He does not act the way that you tell him to. And like I even said in one of the, in my previous videos about part 2, you give Denji 2 choices, he's going to choose the third choice. He makes up his own way of going about things. This reunion was too precious. And look, we've got little Nyanko, little Meowie over here on top of the dogs. Look at how happy he is. Look how relieved they both are. Yes, stinky Denji. Oh, that's adorable. But I am curious as to what's going to happen next. What does Yoshida have planned? Because honestly, he looks like he doesn't have much power over this situation. Earlier, he said that he worked for some sort of secret organization, and now he's just saying that public safety is going to unalive Nayuta. So I wonder if there's 2 organizations or if he's just working for public safety and they're behind it all. Chainsaw Man is a controversial work with people who love it and people who don't get it and do not enjoy it at all. Especially after the anime came out, we see how there were some virtual tussles taking place. Like a lot of modern day mangaka, we don't know what Fujimoto currently looks like. Like there's the one video of him trying to levitate, but beyond that, he keeps his look hidden. Like I've seen a Pochita placed over him before in interviews. So Denji wanting to be found out, but having people telling him to stay hidden in order to reduce conflict and drama, it could reflect some things in real life. I could be wrong, but I think that Yoshida is pure in his intentions. I think he does want Denji to live a safe, healthy, simple life.